Okay, we're back from outer space. Um,
Hey, Uncle Hank.
how you doing, sis? We're going to have Adara joining us shortly. We also got Dooley joining us, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about power and pleasure and power. Uh, that's what's happening.
That's
So,
what's
Adina,
up.
tell us what your services are while we're waiting for the rest of the crew to arrive.
What are
Tell
my
us who you are and what you're
services?
all about.
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you for having me back on the show, Uncle Hanky. My name is Adina Gittens-Smith. I'm the goddess of magical movement. I'm the founder of Goddess Technology, which is an experience for the goddess, the feminine, to wake up into her power. I'm conducting retreats in Bali, sacred space for the divine feminine to rest and relax and renew and remember. We're going back to Bali this year in August and in July. Also, I am the co founder of Belly Dancers of Color Collective here in the Washington, D.C. area, curating amazing sacred feminine spaces for the goddess to dance and remember herself as a sexy, amazing movement mama. So, no matter
Hmm.
the age, the size, the shape, any of that, movement is medicine. And that's what I do. I offer medicine for the goddesses in all walks of life and all around the world. And I am happy, and it's pleasurable, and it's powerful, and it's purposeful. So that is me in a nutshell.
Wow, that's beautiful because the title of the show is Power and Pleasure and Power.
I say.
Tehuti, welcome, man.
Peace, God. Peace, God.
Peace, man. While we're waiting for the featured guest, we're just having a chance to have all of the circle share with us. Wow, okay. Share with us who you are and what your services are. So tell folks who you are and what you're all about, man, while we're waiting on Adara and Dooley. Where's your other angels, brother?
I got one that just called and said she's sick. One's teaching yoga, and the other one just asked for the link. That's what I was trying to do. I thought I put them all in the chat. She must have missed it.
Oh, okay.
But
No
one's
worries.
teaching yoga, so she might be in. She said she might be in a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
One literally is getting Sonata's daughter. She's sick.
She ain't nothing wrong with her.
Yeah,
Hey,
she
she
said she
just
don't
wants she
feel
bail
good.
out. She don't feel good. I mean, she sisters are they covert, and instead of saying hell no, I ain't coming to your show, they're gonna say I'm sick. I I got a paycheck for you. Oh, what? They'll be there.
I
So
feel
we
so much
need you
better
to think
now.
the best of
Yeah, I
us.
feel so much better. I don't know what that was.
Baba, we need you thinking the best of us, okay? We
Say
are
that
out here
again.
getting our. I said we want you to think the best of us. Know that we're getting ourselves ready for you in all the divine ways that we can.
Uh huh. We're gonna have to bring you forward after you said all that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yo, Tahuti, what's been happening with that Xenon Powerball, man? What's your vibe?
Level up, life changing. No,
What
for
you?
real. Like literally, I told you when you even called me to ask me to come on. It was a qigong master that was asking me about it. Man, it was like, man, it caught my eye, and you called literally right
Interesting.
after.
Qigong Master cued in on the energy.
Yeah, literally, we were having a convo in real time. I was my first time meeting the brother, and then 5 minutes later, you called. Oh, there go the goddess.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow, that's
goddess.
a beautiful background. Where are you? She's
Outside.
in Bali?
She in the front yard. No, she in the front yard.
She outside.
In the backyard, outside.
Oh, you in the backyard?
Wow, that's a beautiful sky. No chemtrails back there?
No, it looks good, right?
We like in the country a little bit. It's nice and clear.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay, everybody's doing intros. We was at Tahuti giving his intro. So
Oh,
tell the family about your brother.
okay. My name's Teron George L. I go by Taudi L as well. Um, I'm just a medicine man, a carrier of many medicines and many healing methodologies that we move around with, and we call ancient technology that I love to study in the art of. So, I just really, it's more or less, I'm always studying for myself, and it's in that journey, I bring a lot of people with me.
Yeah. So you're in the DC area, which they let the mother nature flow.
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah, I'm out. The beauty is I'm the best of both worlds though, because I'm out. My mother purchased some about 30 acres of land and probably like 98, 99, about 40, 50 minutes outside of DC. So I'm always in the city, but anytime I don't want to be in the city, I got a fortress of solitude where we just we do a
Wow.
lot.
Oh,
Oh
that's real
wow.
cool.
Oh, you guys see this though? See, you ever seen it? So my mother even made the houses of Minty in the basement.
Oh shoot. What do you got there? Bathtub?
Nah, it's
That's
a
a
pool.
jacuzzi?
It's a pool.
It's a pool, a walk, step down pool?
Yeah.
Yo, give us a tour, bro. Go ahead. What are we looking at?
Okay. Well, you're looking at my art. You're looking at my art. It's like the halls are Minty. You got Tahuti on one side. You got Anubis on the other. You can see the skirt, which is the rebirth of what they call Kepler, which is the rising sun. You see Akaru, he just made me a new skirt too, which is
Wow, yeah. Special acknowledgement to Okara.
yeah, I'll show you. So this is honor of the Commission science.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fierce, man. Man, that was too quick, bro. But we yeah, that I wanted you to get down in the tub and show us do a 360 while you walked into the pool,
I
man.
don't know how to flip. How do I
Yo,
flip?
Uh oh.
he just flipped off, man. Well, while we
Well, you
waiting,
unbuttoned.
Amani, introduce yourself.
Hi, peace and blessings. Hi, Cairo. My name's Amani India Mamotis, and I have the pleasure of facilitating plant medicine ceremonies alongside Tehran, as well as I have a background in yoga, so I like to combine the yoga teachings with the plant medicine journey for like a well-rounded, holistic health, and more than health, but like holistic way of standing in our divinity and walking in our divinity in like our everyday day by day existence. But yeah,
Cool,
that's me.
cool. Who's that little mini you wrapped
This
around
is
you like?
Cairo. Cairo, say hi. Hi.
How
Hi,
you doing,
Cairo.
man? We all watching you.
Hello, son.
Dad.
Oh, that's your son, Tehran,
Yes.
Tahuti.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, it looks like so that's is that, he, that's his mama.
His second mama. Yes.
Oh man, he loves some Amani. You got
Yeah. Definitely.
competition,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's too cute. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Dad, look at me. Bet you can't keep up with me. Yeah, that is amazing. I like that background, man. I just came in from outside, but I don't remember the sky being as beautiful blue as it is. So
Oh yeah. Well, you got all that city lights and stuff doing a whole lot out there where you at.
yeah, yeah. Here's Dooley right here, man. Let's pull him in, man.
Hey, peace,
Hey.
God.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, y'all?
Amazing,
Hey.
Yeah,
bro. How are you?
yeah,
Peace,
yeah.
God.
Oh,
I'm
family,
in my
wherever you're
peace.
listening from, put it in the comments so that we can have a panoramic view of who's listening in. Special acknowledgement to Steve in Jersey. And yeah,
Peace,
put it in the
peace.
comments what city, what state, what country, or what planet you're tuned in. Because, we're being monitored by superior intelligence off planet. And you probably know that if you take, have you ever met any extraterrestrials, Tahuti or Dooley, while doing entheogens? If so, take your time and share with us. You too, Imani, and you too, Adina. We're going to talk about extraterrestrials, power, and pleasure.
Hmm. You want Dooley? You start.
Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of experience with extraterrestrials and ethogenic
Yo,
Oh
medicines.
wow.
introduce your lady, man. Introduce your lady, because she was peekabooing.
Hey, Cora, come over here and say peace to the peoples real quick. She that's a little shy hen.
Oh, she
Yeah.
shy. Maybe she cooking for you, huh?
Yeah, she cooking up something. All right.
Yo, yo, that's funny as hell, man. Yo,
Yeah.
that's a nice Look at that smile.
Peace,
Wow.
guys.
Peace
Greetings.
and blessings. What's your
Yo,
Greetings,
name?
goddess.
Say your
my name
name,
is
sis.
Cora.
Huh?
Cora.
Talk slow, Cora.
Cora. Yeah.
Wow, you got a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All
All
right, good.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I have numerous experiences with, hey, there she is. What up,
Hey,
what up,
Thank
sis?
peace, peace,
It's been
fam.
a minute.
What's
How you
happening?
doing?
Peace, Adara. What's
It's a
up?
whole team in here. It's a
Dara in the
whole
place to
team.
Say
be.
hi, first. Say hi,
You know
dog.
how y'all
Hmm.
feeling?
Pretty good, Sean.
Doing
Sorry, I'm
good.
a little late. The
Hey, look,
crown.
look here, y'all. We got a balance. The reason I asked about your crown, your kufi, bend down,
You could just do it, Sean.
Dooley. Let me see the top of your hat. Oh, I
Mm.
had a sister. Special acknowledgement to Sister Amina. She made me this one, man.
Mm.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah,
Ah, shoot.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
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 feels
yeah, yeah.
really good, man.
Hank be styling. Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
yeah, 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 yeah. You
we
already
be
know.
trading. There wasn't no cash exchange. It was bartering, bartering. But she did this
Mm,
hand knit, and it feels great. When I put it on, I feel good. You know. Yeah, we got
Wonderful.
three brothers and four sisters. We're almost balanced out. We're almost balanced out.
yeah.
Adara,
Peace, honey. How
welcome.
are you? Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here to see so many people I know that I love talking to. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Mm-hmm,
Hmm.
mm-hmm. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So I heard you're gonna be coming up to the DC area soon. What's that all
Yeah,
about?
yeah. So May 1st through the 4th, I'm doing the Shift the Self weekend. And it is a spirit-led weekend. I'm going to be doing 2 rituals. I'll be doing a pleasure experience. I'll be doing 2 workshops. So it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be packed with some really, really useful tools to get you effects immediately. And I wasn't gonna open it up to the
Mm.
public. It was gonna be mostly for my level 1 class. But then I was like, I feel like other people need to be here because we're gonna be doing some things. So I opened up the container and it's gonna be really, really nice. Really nice. So if people are ready and they are called, the door is open for you to attend. It's gonna be
Wait a
20
second,
people.
Adara. Are you a vocalist? Do you sing?
I wish I would just be far too talented if I could sing. God couldn't give me everything, but I wish, I
Wait a
could.
second now.
Oh,
You got
I
Tehuti
do
on
a
one
few songs.
side, you got Dooley on the other side. I'm sure y'all could come up with a concoction to activate Adara from her past life vocals. Because I see the sister got pipes. What do you think, Adina? Does the sister sound like she's a vocalist?
She does have a beautiful voice, and her touch and her energy is amazing. I had the pleasure
Thank
of meeting
you.
Adara when she was in DC last year for her session, and as she was leading us, it felt melodic. So I was moved
Hmm.
into a whole nother realm by your session and your energy work. So it's not just your voice, but it's the whole energetic that she brings is absolutely amazing. And we've done a
Thank
couple
you. Thank
podcasts
you.
together and things. So yeah, Dara is my boo. That's my
Yeah,
boo
Yeah,
yeah.
right
our
there.
fire. The
I'm
whole team
feeling
was
her boo boo flowing through the screen. So,
that's my
I told her
boo.
before the show, I was like, pour it on us nice and slow. I ain't gonna rush you, baby.
Thank you, thank you. Sometimes I feel
Hey, hey,
restless. Sometimes I really like take my time.
Hmm.
hey, Baba Hank. It's real synchronicity though, because I don't. You didn't even know when you was asking for Adina to be on that when Adara came, like Adina was the one who actually got like the special
On the
treatment that
table.
got the
Yeah,
whole full session that we all watched her get the session done. It was
yeah,
actually Adina.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yes, yes. How was that for you? How did it feel?
It was amazing. It was amazing, Adar, for a whole lot of different reasons. The room was filled with energy. Your energy, I could feel the waves of energy moving through me like that. It was very powerful. I felt glorious. I felt
Yeah,
charged in my
yeah. It was
goddessness.
nice. It was
When
nice.
did y'all do this?
Man, Hank, you better get in here on May 1st and come find out.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
You
I'm
This
know
was
what
trying to
they
tell
last year.
you know what they say. Let me see.
Let me see.
you.
And
This one
and
I
I don't
wanted to
have no
do even
pictures.
more juicy. You
Let
know.
me see.
It was for the people in the room. It was for the people in the room. It was no
You know? So May 3rd is the actual day of the Divine Pleasure Experience where we'll be doing something similar,
Okay.
a little bit more interactive, a little bit more experiential for everyone. Well, I'm going to be doing a demo, but I also want people to be involved. So it's for singles, couples, friends, all of that. And the goal is to redefine your relationship with pleasure. And,
Okay.
I'm ready to go when people are ready to go.
Ooh,
So,
that's 2 weeks
hopefully,
from now.
yes, yes.
Wow. Okay, we got a question in the chat. Is the following information good for people who are single?
Absolutely. 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 Definitely.
I think while you're single, you need to learn all of these skills so that you bring something to the table other than shadows. What you
Yes.
think of that, Dooley?
The preparation work is very important. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm on here because there's been a quantum shift for me and along the lines with my lady. I mean, Adara
Oh,
already know I
Adara,
work.
you hear the way Dooley sounding?
Yeah,
Yo, Tehuti,
Yeah.
that don't sound like the Dooley we know, man.
Hey, look, man,
yeah.
I'm already hip. I already seen it. I
Listen,
seen it in
y'all.
him already before. Like the first time I talked to him in a minute, he every sentence was like, "Yo, me and my lady. I've been with my lady. Me and my
I
lady."
love
So he
that.
even,
I love
thought
it.
his own. He was already letting it be known that he been moving, in duality and not singly at real live. When we
Oh
last time we even
shoot.
spoke.
He don't
Yeah,
even look the same. Look at
yeah,
him, y'all. Y'all know what Dooley look like, Amani.
yeah.
Does that look like Adina? Does that look like the same Dooley from
He
the
looks
last
very
time we seen him?
he looks very
You look
happy.
good.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah,
like
you
he's
look
been well fed.
you look great.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Rich in a different way, like you look satisfied from a really deep level.
Yes, yes. I have to say that there was a lot of things that leaded up to me and my lady meeting. You know what I mean? There's the shadow work, all those things are so important, like the foundation, like I was saying, for you to even be ready for that divine partner for yourself. So it's a gradual process to lead up to that. And yeah, I hit some bumps in the road. I've been on this path for a long time. You know what I mean? So and Hank would tell you, Dooley does the Dragon Ball Z thing. I mean, listen, y'all, what's been coming through me this past year, man, a whole nother level.
Adara,
So yeah,
Adara. I wonder what would it be like um, putting Amani and Adina on the table, and then you and Dooley doing a shotgun healing on them, and will they be able to stay on the table, or will they get stuck up on the paint on the ceiling?
I think everybody gets stuck on the paint. For real, I'm feeling with it. And, I love working with Dooley. Like Dooley is my people, and we have a really good energy together. So, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And welcome. Just throwing that out there. And welcome. You know what I mean? Y'all got a
thank
place with
you,
me,
thank
honey.
you,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely.
I mean, one thing I have to say I would give credit is when I was in North Carolina and I was dealing with the mystic path of the Kriya Yoga. I've been yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I've been in many different schools of thought, but for some people that don't never heard of Kriya Yoga before or even Yoga Nanda, I really encourage you to look up Yogananda's work. A lot of people, when they even think about yoga, it goes all the way back to that man, because we're talking about the 1930s, where the United States, where a lot of people during that time weren't even aware of yoga. You know what I mean? So when you look at the autobiography of the yogi, and which a lot of people have read and say has changed their life, we're talking about in that book the saint that hasn't eaten over 30 some years, the other
Mhm.
dude that could be in two places at one time, all these different phenomena, right? So when I got my initiation in North Carolina, Yogananda came to me that night. Yo, Hank,
wow.
I'm
That's a big
chilling.
one. That's a
I'm
big
All
one.
right.
chilling, right? I'm chilling, laying on the floor at my people spot. And I look up, all of a see, I see him cross leg, and he look at me for a couple of seconds and smile and disappear. Now,
He did a
Hank,
drive-by on you, Dooley. He did a
drive by.
drive-by.
Now listen, man, Hank. When my healing
Hold
started,
that piece. Hold that piece now, because
okay,
this is a dollar show. So
Okay, yeah.
we're gonna bring the
Yeah,
mic. We're gonna slow jam, like a quartet, y'all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would it
Already
be
know,
called a what's it called when you have a band and they got 2, 4, 5 people? What's it called? Quintet? What's the band
Uh,
called?
it's
Yeah, I think it was a
quartet with
question.
4. Quintet is 5.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of acoustical musical harmony, we got to bring the main vocalist, Dara, to a woo woo and tell us more, boo boo.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. I was interested in Yoga Nanda because I have read autobiography of a yogi, and if you're on a spiritual path, I feel like that's mandatory reading almost. That's mandatory reading, and the things that so yoga is part of the tantric system, right? And it's a tool that we use to open the body up, open the mind up, open energy channels up. And these energy channels are the same ones that we use to send the energy around the room to channel this. The awakenings that we have in these systems is what we use to help bring pleasure to people. And this is where we learn that pleasure is power. The pleasure of giving up things that used to hold you back is pleasurable. Giving up the struggles of fighting within yourself is pleasurable, and we're able to do that inner work. Then when we get into a more traditional pleasurable realm, things are much easier to deal with. So I know somebody asked if this was good for singles, and the answer is absolutely yes. And the reason why is because the first relationship you're having is always with yourself. And if you're looking for a partner, dealing with that first. If you're looking for a partner, I'm of the strong feeling that you should be somebody that you want to date. And you know your shadows. You know what could possibly turn people off about you. You know the tricks you play on people. You know the things that you do that might sway somebody left and right. And when you put different tantric practices into play, other practices, self-work, plant medicine, whatever it is to help build this inner man, then the layers of you shed off. The layers of you shed off, and you become a richer, more valuable partner in whatever scenario you're adding to. And also in your own life, you get to have a more authentic relationship with yourself. And what does that mean? What does that mean? So a lot of people come to me for consultations and they say they want to feel more confidence. And I tell them sometimes that to have confidence, you have to have radical self-compassion. That's the only way you can do it. You have to have radical self-compassion. If I throw myself up here and my hair don't lay the way I need it to lay, am I going to beat myself down and feel like I'm ugly? Am I going to, if I stumble over my words, is it okay? Will I believe in myself and have compassion with myself to get up here and do it again? And that working in my mind, other people call courage and bravery. Other people call, just showing up or whatever else. And how do you do that? And we do that by step, inner loving in ourselves. Our masculine side that wants to show up and act out, our feminine side that wants to just sit in the back possibly and just breathe in the experience and just you on the good and the bad side, receiving the negative vibrations and the positive vibrations and all this different stuff and making it work together. So we do it in
Okay,
the
so
physical.
I just want to interject because I got to play devil's advocate on the show.
Or I like it.
So I like what you're saying about the feminine. That sounds theoretically great. But I noticed that a lot of sisters, and I notice on social media, they're more like angry men that got a punani. I mean, so how do you get the women to embrace their femininity and the pleasure of their femininity versus trying to be like angry men in a dress?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that people are people. Men have the ability to be nurturing, and so do women. Women have the ability to fight just like men. Everybody lies, cheats, and steals. Your genitals don't make you do that more. Now, with us, we can only be girls when we feel safe. And I'm saying girls because girls play, girls have fun, girls do this. Like when we're women in duty mode, we're holding stuff. We have to have this image. We have to do whatever to gain whatever respect. So some women have put their sexuality on the back burner because women who are overly sexual are not respected in the world. Some people traded that in for, whatever they felt that was going to make them respectable. But the only reason they have to do that is because the male perspective is so judgmental. It doesn't give room for us to move and flow. And when brothers allow us to move and flow, and the way we just move about the world, like, do I have to explain everything that I'm doing? Can I just allow myself to spin? Feminine is round. Feminine is, it's like we're trying to be in the space and create beauty in so many different ways. And if we don't have an environment where we're able to feel safe, just enjoying ourselves. Like, let's say, like Adina, at the event that you went to, if the men were in there acting away, would the women be able to do? Would you feel comfortable getting on the table in what you were wearing?
No, no. It has to be a
Adina, you got to
mix.
turn up your volume, baby,
Oh
please.
my goodness. Can you hear me?
You whispering, you making me really listen close to what you're saying. I mean, but it's not bad. We could hear you, but it's coming through
Can
kind
you
of
hear me
like,
now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm being my own techie. Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm saying that the the way that the masculine embraces the feminine is very important. We're all recovering from hyper masculinity. Masculine is recovering as well as the feminine. And to come into a space where we're received with loving eyes just as we are. Many times it's hard for sisters to be who they really are because they don't know. Like Uncle Hank, what you just said could be received as very judgmental, and that could be just that comment could shut somebody down. Like, oh God, he thinks I'm a hyper man with a yoni. It's like,
Yeah, but when do we become so sensitive that we can't say, you got a coffee stain on your T-shirt, and then a person feels violated?
well, I'm not.
How dare you tell me I
Well,
got
listen,
coffee on my white
you
shirt?
you didn't say coffee stain. You came straight for the yoni and masculinity. You came for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
feminine.
because it's the elephant in the room, Adina.
I'm with you, but I
Um,
am hypersensitive. I am a cancer, okay? And so when you talk about sensitive, I am the
ooh.
sensitive of the sensitive. I literally feel everything. And so even things you think I missed, I didn't. I caught it. I might choose not to say anything about it, but I feel it all. So your intentionality speaks volumes. Even if you don't say, if you're coming in and you already judged before I even step my foot in the door, then I might not put my foot in the door. I might not come in all the way. I might not come in all the way with me, but that's the work we do. That's the work Adara's doing. That's the work we do in belly dance. It's real important that we have sanctuaries where we can start to meet ourselves because we've been so removed from that. And coming
Mhm.
back to your loving embrace and your loving eyes and your loving words is everything because we need you. We really do. We
Mhm.
need you
We
as we
do.
heal. And so I
We,
give thanks for the masculine who can be with me in my messiness. Because Adara said the feminine is a circle. She's chaotic. She's all over the place. And don't judge chaos because that's the creative process too. As we're rolling all around, we're finding all kinds of jewels. The next $1 million idea. But is it pretty? Nah, man, it's messy as fuck. But that is part of the process. That is
Now you
part of
remember what I said before I spoke to Adoris. I got to be on this show. I'm being devil's advocate, so don't
okay.
get too sensitive,
Okay.
Cancerian.
Hey,
Remember,
I
I
am
did
who
do the
I am.
clause at the
Ouch.
beginning.
Ouch. Ouch.
I did say I'm going to
You
go
did.
there
You
and be the
did.
devil's advocate.
So give
So
me
you
a
know,
hug, Uncle Hanky. Come on, give me a hug.
hold on, I gotta be in character, baby, because I love some Cancerian energy. I'm gonna tell you that. But I have to be devil's advocate so we get the
The devil don't
contrast.
need no advocates, man. The devil don't need no advocates. The people are who they are. Can a goddess get a daggone advocate?
Oh,
Can we get somebody on our daggone side, please? I need you.
Can I interject something that
go
what
ahead.
Adina's
We're on the
and
roll now. We have left the station.
I didn't get to talk to Amani, but yeah. So we were talking about the circle, and Adina was bringing that back up. A good way to look at this is in dance. When women are spinning, the man is just twirling them, send it this way. Don't spin this way. Just come this way. Redirect her, and she's just moving. She don't have to worry about it. And when men are able to, and he's in play too now. Keep
Yes.
that in mind. The
He's
masculine is
holding the
playing with it
container.
too.
He's holding the
Yeah,
container for us.
yeah, he's having just as much fun and just as much freedom as she is in this process because that is what we're designed to do, And I'm not,
Ooh.
that's what
So
we're
maybe
designed to
we should
do,
learn some tango, take it back to the roots. Maybe
Ashe.
you
we need to
know?
learn some salsa
Mm-hmm.
so that we
Sounds
can
fun.
come back to our primordial core. What's your thought on that, Tahuti?
I say, yeah, nah, for sure, definitely. It's no, it's interesting. You know, I'm watching the so in the law to Hootie, there has to be a devil though, Adina. So just know that there has to be a devil. So like, there would not be a God without a devil.
Ashe, Ashe.
Yeah. So just remember that. So like, sometimes the advocate of the devil has to play so you can know both sides.
Ashe.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you know I didn't expect him to come back with that kind of a comment.
Mm-hmm.
Adara, what was you saying? Yo, Tahuti, that was heavy, bro. That was a
I love it.
checkmate like a mofo.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Adara.
Nah, no. I mean, I'm because I'm listening, and it's like I get why you said what you said, and I get why they said what they said. So it's like, and you know, my goddess is on here, and even when because she had asked, she says, "What kill?" It's funny because now she gonna get me later too, because Dooley's sitting there with his woman, because she asked, she's like, "Well, we can't we just sit together?" And I'm like, "No, well, this ain't about us. If we sitting together, it's gonna put too much on us. You go do your side, I go do my side." So now you sitting over there with your woman. So now I'm here later on. Like, wow, I
No,
didn't
no,
want
just
to.
yo, Tahuti, just go get her. We'll wait for you, so you can save yourself for later. Go ahead, man. You know, come back to Adara and Amani and Adina. And you know what I'm looking at, family? Look at the arrangement: the feminine triangle, and then the masculine. It's in a natural form where the feminine is rising to the sky, the triangulation, and then the masculine energy coming down. You see that, Adara? What I'm talking about?
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything is in divine order. But yeah, I definitely like to hear what Amani has to say.
Yeah, so I had put myself on mute because he got me outside with the
I'm
bugs
outside.
spraying and
See what we talking
everything.
about? Whole place for the feminine. You see what I'm saying?
Not Amani in the
You shine your
house.
light, honey.
But I do think it's definitely a balance. What I will say about both Adina and United States, when I first got into like my spiritual journey, I was listening to some Phil Valentine videos, and he later on like made Baba Hank's comment seem like very, very like nice about it, you know? Like he was really straight up of like, you know, y'all women are being very masculine, this and that. He pointed out examples. And although it was very like hard to hear, I mean, I was crying and crying. At the end of the day,
Oh,
it needed to be heard. So sometimes that like although we're sensitive, sometimes we need that sensitivity to be waken up because as feminine women who've been in our masculine, we get so hard and so stuck that sometimes you do need that little like hit that just allows you to feel and be in your
crack you
cancer,
open.
be in your sensitivity.
Crack you open. Crack you open. Because it literally and figuratively, it creates shells around us, right? There's body armor that we develop. It gets locked into our body, which is another reason why so many people are numb and so many people are, I don't want to say out of touch with their emotions because people feel emotions. But then once they feel it, they lock it into the body, lock it into the mind, push it down, and they don't when they want to access it again, it's hard to find, you know? So to what you're saying, I can see definitely that we need sometimes some, tough love, like it says, tough love
Mm-hmm.
because I like it raw, and then at the same time though, give me a tool, or let me
Yeah.
know, like you said, Phil Valentine showed us how we were being masculine or what that meant. And then this is where I'm a fan of guidance. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of, not necessarily Hank, but just in general, the way we talk to each other, masculine and feminine, is very condescending and accusatory. And I'm your daddy and not your partner or your friend. I'm your mama and not your woman or your helpmate or whatever you want to say. And then 9 times out of 10, when you come into the room, the brother trying to figure out, are you against them or on their same side, and vice versa, before you even get to an authentic conversation. You got to see if, you see what I'm saying? Like the games we play with each other causes, and I'm not even call it games because everybody is trying to protect themselves at the end of the day. Everybody has this response to the world. And we have to have spaces where there is an opportunity for them to be introduced to the opposite. So when we do something like the event that we're doing in DC, especially on Saturday, you're going to have a chance to experience people offering you attention if you want it, or accommodation if you want it, assistance if you want it, just help you get around, because some sisters don't never even have somebody grab their bags, and if they do, they never say yes. Like little simple things, like we talking big stuff, little simple things that the average person is just saying no to. Brothers won't even allow themselves to get a compliment. They don't trust it, they don't feel it, you know what I mean? So in my classes, when men are able to experience women giving them energy, love, and support without wanting anything from them, without them having to do anything to earn it, they be broken down and they're having a ecstatic, full experience just like women in their masculine way. You see what I'm saying? Because we both have masculine and feminine. Both of us show up in all kinds of ways. Like I said, everybody's capable of every emotion. And I feel like some of the attack that women get from men is because jealous is the wrong word, but we have a chance to express our feelings. We have a chance to practice processing emotions. They don't even really. And they don't, just like we don't really know what masculinity looks like, they don't either, right? We're still learning femininity, just like Dina said, and so are they, right? So immediately women demand men to know exactly what to do. As soon as a little boy gets to a sexual situation with no training, no nothing, he's supposed to know how to satisfy this woman, not hurt this woman, and then his whole being is on the line. We can get up and like, well, that wasn't that good. I just feel dirty, But for men, like every time they lay down with a woman, if they're in this mindset, their masculinity is judged, and even that plays on the mind. Even the fact that because they have a penis, they have to get up and die for everybody. That gets on them too. And this is places that women never really talk about, and we don't hold space for them. So I love to have places where we can all come naked, not for real, but emotion. Like, yeah, baby girl, I
That is
feel.
powerful. That is powerful what you're saying, Adara. Because Adina, my Cancerian darling, men, as quiet as it's kept, we more sensitive than the feminine
So
principle.
sensitive.
We are
I love
more,
you.
but we
Ashe,
don't wear it on our shoulders.
Ashe.
We we don't victimize our sensitivity or weaponize. We don't weaponize. Men don't weaponize our sensitivity, because I've heard, like, as men, we don't say, "Hi, my name is Hank. Uh, I was born black, white, Native American." Whereas somebody else, particularly feminine gender incarnate, "Hi, my name is so and so, and I've been through this trauma." Us men, we're
Mm-hmm.
so sensitive. Our, we don't weaponize our trauma on our
Part of that
shoulders.
is what
Hold on, let me finish what I'm
Adara.
saying
Okay,
first.
okay.
We don't weaponize our trauma and place it on our shoulders. However, we all have been through a various form of trauma from either family, friends. So we have a lot of uh, healing and forgiveness that we have to apply. And that's all I got to say. Go ahead, Adina.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. That is an awesome perspective. I wanted to share this as a mother of three grown sons. I do understand that masculine has sensitivity that you carry on the inside, whereas the feminine, our sensitivity is more on the outside. It's kind of a reverse thing. We're all human and we all feel everything. It's just how we tend to show it. Adara spoke of that a little bit in terms of how we're socialized. And she said that women are socialized to have a full emotional experience, where men are feeling all kinds of ways about having that. So you're really taught to mask that. I was very conscious to allow my sons, as I raised them, to have all their emotions, understanding the emotions
Mm-hmm.
aren't one sex or another sex, just like the colors are all the colors,
Mm-hmm.
the colors are for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can say, well, girls wear pink and boys wear blue. You see girls wear blue and nobody's giving them trouble for
Right.
wearing blue. So if you want to wear pink, like
Right.
these are discussions that we've had. So I understand what you're saying. what I'm hearing too is what we're talking about, and I think the culture at large promotes really a battle of the sexes. And I'm saying we really need to be about the harmony of the sexes, because we need
I
each other.
say.
It's not me against you, you against me, mother against son, father against that. Nah, 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 nah. I need you, you need me, and we need each
Mm-hmm.
other in our highest sense, and all moving forward toward, really healing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm coming from it, from, the divine feminine aspect, but harmonizing with the divine masculine. It's not us over you or that kind of thing. It's no, because
I
I am
say.
you. You're
I
just
say.
me in reverse. That's all. Inside out, outside in, that kind of thing. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Adina.
Yeah, very
Can't
well said.
serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dooley look high as a kite. Put a little something to that Dooley because he's a Pisces, y'all. So we got
Oh
Okay.
we
yeah.
got
Yeah,
the water on the right.
I'm another feeling.
Come on
I'm
with this
another
water.
feeling. Yep, yep. So my thing on this whole thing is I'm hearing vulnerability. I'm hearing the ability to be able to dive deep with the person that you're digging. And it might take a couple of times of like trial and error as well, because as you get to know yourself, you start to really know who's the best for you, or what your divine opposite is. So my
Mm-hmm.
thing is friendship. Beyond that, this is when you find somebody that you can rock with and say, okay, we on this ride to understanding each other. That's when you could go
That's
deeper with
it.
your healing.
That's
That's when
it.
you could go deeper with your sensuality, all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
I respect my lady on how much we want to share, or how much she's open to share with some of our healings together, on a tantric level. And I wouldn't even even a label on it, because it's so expansive. And
Can I pause you for
yeah,
a second?
yes, please.
I heard divine masculinity and divine femininity come up, and I just wanted to just share on that. And I can speak for self first. I had to do a lot of the inner work first to become comfortable with being in my divine femininity, that
Okay.
divine womanhood, divine motherhood, even in order to make that space to collaborate with
Mm-hmm.
just a healthy divine man in my life. In order for
Ashe.
me to in order for me to receive the love that was being brought to me, I had no idea it was coming from another person. I had to make a lot of space within myself to know that I am loved for self first before I could believe that another person
Mhm,
could love me within that light.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that my reflection, it was so bright. I felt bright on my own. So when I was connected with Julie, I was double blinded. And it was not in a way where I was like lost or confused. I was so sure because it was so vibrant that it scared me a little bit, because I was like, oh, wow, this is really happening. I didn't think I could get to that level of love. I didn't think that I could see it happen in like the tangible sense. I felt as though I reached it on my own for so long that being ready to make that space with him, it was it knocked me down for a little bit, not in the sense of like being weak, but I had to reshape how I was seeing myself with someone
Mm-hmm.
else. I could see myself alone. I felt safe alone. It took me a long time to feel safe alone. It took me many years to learn how to be vulnerable with self. It took years of introspection. It took years of reflecting. It took years of mistakes and going back to the drawing board to say, who am I?
mhm,
What am I?
mhm,
Where am I? All the things, you know what I'm saying? Before I realized that, okay, I'm safe within myself. So
mhm,
to
Mm-hmm.
be safe with another person was really hard, because I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give up myself. I wanted to stay independent. I'm an Aquarius. I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay independent. I needed that. I'm like, I figured this out. I've got this. And then Julie came into my life, and it was like, oh, I have to know how to be this way with somebody else. Oh, I have to
Mm-hmm.
share.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I learned how to protect. We are taught how to protect ourselves when we go through a certain level of trauma. We're taught how to protect ourselves, but no one teaches us how to share space after we've healed ourselves.
mhm,
Absolutely.
And
We'll
that's
talk
why
about.
I'm glad you're here, Adara, because
That's
it's
what we.
like
That's what
after
we
you
always.
finish all the
That was unlocked up.
purification and
uh,
cleansing, then what?
Yes. 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 I'm going to answer that, but I gotta ask this. Um, Can you just like, you don't have to go into detail, and do these questions for you too, because I love like how harmony comes together. Can you guys just list a couple of limiting beliefs you had to let go of so y'all can make space for each other and like accept what you asked for to come into your life?
Well, I'll tell you one top thing is communication. Um, because I'm a Pisces, I'm very go with the flow, very like this is go by spirit right now for me. I'm moving like this. And I always had challenges personally with organization, even in past relationships when we're talking about when problems come up,
Mm.
how do I deal with them? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it would be, okay, I don't want to deal with this is gonna might turn into an argument, or this is very heavy right now. I'm gonna see if I could exit or walk out, you know what I mean, or just be quiet, which could be on some real passive aggressive stuff.
Yeah.
So Cora have in a lot of ways helped me grow in that area of being able, and that was my limited belief on, and a lot of this comes with our environments too as men, you know. You know, even though my father, I love that man. My father's a great man, you know what I mean? But there
Yeah.
was also when you don't have your parents together, when you don't have an example of how these unions work, you know, I used to see by the example of some of the older cats in my neighborhood. So I'm seeing how men and women interact in my neighborhood, in my hood, seeing how when problems come up, how dudes deal with it and all this. And this is how I'm seeing things. So
Mm-hmm.
when I start to really analyze myself more and start to see, well, wow, I got the spiritual thing down, other things
Yeah.
down in my life. But what's this whole thing with the divine partnership? And that's
Mm-hmm.
something I really wanted to understand more. And really, it comes into a place of being very compassionate, like Adara, like you said, being extremely compassionate with yourself because we're all
Mm-hmm.
learning. You know what I mean? We really are. And anybody that think they got it on top, man. I mean, come
Red
on, man.
flag. Red
It's
flag.
delusional. It's delusional. So to just be open for Cora to teach me how to be able to be hold me accountable for the open communication when things come up,
With
how
love.
with love, how we could
Yeah.
solve different things when things get when some of the insecurities come up or some of the wounds that might come up and all these things. And as we both come to a place that we feel safe with each other, that's when the love is starting to come even more, man, because now I could be like, okay, yeah, I fucked up, or maybe you might misread me or whatever, but we got love for each other, so we're gonna try to grow together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yo,
And
thank you,
that
Dooley.
opened the
I
door.
want,
And I
hold
just
you.
wanted to say one thing. That opened the door with the ethogenic medicine on a whole different level with this
Mm-hmm.
woman here. When I
Okay.
say blowing the bufo and the toad and going down on her yoni and then
Wait,
being
hold on, Dooley.
guided.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Yo,
yeah, yeah.
we're going to get to that part.
Okay,
That's why I was
okay.
saying, hold on, because we want to keep it, because what Adara asked, I want to also share, and I want also Tehuti to speak, because Adara, what you're saying is shadow work, and the question was directed at the brothers. So I just want to share shadow work on my end. I had to give up the chicken.
Mm.
Mm,
My shadow work, I
Mm.
had to give up the chicken, the fish, and the turkey legs.
Mm. Turkey leg be good
When I
too.
took the shrooms, Adina, Adara, Amani, Tahuti, Dooley, family, the fish came on the shroom ride, the chickens came, the turkeys came, and they said, "We your brother. We love you. Why are you eating us?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now that was some shadow shit, if I could ever say, because I was up in here by
Mm-hmm.
myself. I didn't have my co-pilot, and I was like, I am so sorry, because what I noticed is that I would act out the trauma of the chicken.
Mm.
I would act out the trauma of the turkey and the fish. So
Mm.
sometimes it's not sexually transmitted trauma, it's chicken transmitted trauma and turkey leg and fried whiting transferred trauma. So who's talking? So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
all I got to say. And
Real
that's
quick
real.
before I let Tehuti and Amani talk, so I definitely want to hear y'all. Which Hank just said, like, who's talking? That is the theme of our ritual Friday night. So we're dealing with, like, before you get to any deities or anything like that, you have to deal with the gatekeeper, right? The opener of the doors, opener of the way, all of that. Since I do a lot of comedic stuff, I deal with Sebek. But what he's trying to teach us is, family, who's that talking in your head? Those limiting beliefs that Dooley is feeling that makes him feel like whatever. Who's that really talking? Is that his real divine essence? Is that his higher self? Is that his fears, limitation? Or is it chicken? You know, like these are real questions. And in the moments dealing with our partner, when you're about to respond, you got to check yourself like, is this how I really feel? What part of me is giving this to this person? What part of them is going to receive this? And is this going to add more peace to them or not? Is this going to fix what we're doing or add more understanding or not? And if it's not, and I still want to do it, who and what am I really in service to? Is it this relationship or is this other thing that's talking? Am I willing to destroy this person for the sake of this thing or that I think is me or whatever else? And stuff gets real deep. So we meditate, we do our energy work, we do our body work. All of this is to give us some time so that we can watch what's happening in our inner space so that we can control and navigate and rein in, because consciousness is masculine. Our masculine side is reining in and watching, always on alert, always on security of who is talking in our head, what's going on, and what's really doing it. And you get to save the damage that you would cause somebody by just slinging things haphazardly, you know,
Mm-hmm.
insults haphazardly. If you bitch, you record, if you broke ass nigga, like there's no amount of apologizing that's gonna help a broke ass nigga that you called a broke ass nigga not feel bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, and if you're trying to
You
build this man, you have to speak life into him, even
right.
when you're mad, even when you're hurt, you know. So that's my piece on that. Show
You
up the whole weekend, family. It's gonna be powerful. Go ahead.
you know, can I add on to real quick about who's speaking because working with the sacred animal medicines, right? When we talk about combo, when we talk about snake
Mm.
venom, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, there's a lot of clients that come back to me and it's like, wow, I feel so quiet. My mind feels so quiet. You know what I mean? The inner chatter, as Uncle Hank would say, the monkey mind has
Yeah.
quiet. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you just from a place of talking about parasites and what we're eating and how that affects, the invasion of the body snatchers. It's real. And
Mm-hmm.
also when we talk about animals, for instance, I just came from New York the other day at Catskills, New York. I worked for the first time. I did a psychic surgery on an animal. So
Nice.
I did a psychic surgery on this dog that was dying. And part of that healing, I seen so much pain that dog was taking on from its owner,
Mm-hmm.
from the
Mm-hmm.
woman's ex-wife. And I'm purging with the dog, by the way. So as I'm pulling that out, the dog is purging and I'm purging and spitting it out and stuff. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling these adhesions and stuff melt away. You know what I mean? The dog didn't drink or eat for a couple of days, but was able to get up. And I gave it snake venom as well. And I gave her cat some combo. So the thing is this. Yes, Hank. Yes, Hank. And that cat was
Yo,
purging too,
That's
Hank.
next level.
You know
listen,
what I mean?
listen.
And I'm gonna
Honey.
tell you, so some of us don't, of course, eat no dog or cat, but that's an example to show you how some of these animals are
Pick it up.
holding on to some very heavy energy. All
Yo, the
right. You
biggest
would think,
thing with that, in addition to what Dooley shared, Adara, how im- how observant is it, Adara, to notice how a person, say a client, and if a client has a pet, does the pet sometimes tell you, Adara, what's really going on with your client?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Their pet, my pet, and this hits both of you guys' points. I had a little doggy named Dexter. I used to do sessions at my house. He would lay underneath the table. I was only working on men at that time. I was specializing in prostate issues, erectile dysfunction, all of that. And this is a multi-layered benefit of the story. He was not acting himself. I took him to the Petco for something, I guess to get clean or something. I'm looking in the aisle at bladder medicine. And for whatever reason, I didn't know. I was staring and I was like, maybe I should get some. But I didn't. Couple weeks later, not even a week later, I had to put him down because his prostate was so inflamed that he had a kidney stone that ripped his little stuff apart. And I sat there and I thought, one, trust your intuition. Second, my little doggy has been sitting under this table, hundreds of people.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Hundreds of men.
Yeah.
Prostate destroyed, family, destroyed. You go to somebody's house and you can feel it in the air. You can touch their clothes and feel stuff. You can sit on the couch and feel stuff. The little animal is going to come to you because you're the cleanest, most high vibing thing in the space, and it's trying to get some relief, because animals in a domestic capacity really do care for us. Like a snake and a lizard, like they don't really, but ones that can build emotional bonds really, really do care for us, and they are absorbent in the space just like plants are. Your plants will tell you a lot too. You see what I'm saying? Like everything is communicating constantly because we're in that morphogenic field. And we are all on the same frequencies in different ways. And all we are saying in all of our different perspectives is, family, be aware of the frequency band that you're operating in. All the things that you're doing, you have control over. Despite what people tell you, despite the hurt that's happened to you, as long as your brain is still able to rationally function, you have the ability to grab the bull by the horns or whatever else and re-guide your life. It may hurt. It may be painful. It may take a long time. But guess what? Each overcoming that you have is going to feel great. When you look back and see how far you've come, that's going to be pleasurable. And then when you look at who you are and what you're ready for, that's going to be pleasurable. And then going into what Hank asked me before, once you've healed, now what? Like we talked about yoga, and it's to cultivate and refine our energy. And we're building Kundalini, right? And as our Kundalini moves, what do we do with it? So I tell people that Tantra is the art of harmony. Everything is Tantra. Anytime you're making anything work together, you're doing Tantra, from chemistry to whatever else. We're doing Tantra. So now we are able to use this to climb up this tree of life, to access our divinity. Before we were down here, but we're always divine, but we have access to it now. We have the juice to get there. We have the power to get there. We have the know-how. We have the strength in our hearts and our mind and our will. So now the door is open for us to travel astrally with authority. Like, there's one thing about leaving your body and just wandering around aimlessly, but when you're able to do it with authority, it's beautiful. And we can take your partner with you. Me and my partner, we were traveling during things.
Now,
And
that's deep.
okay,
That's real deep.
It is deep. It's fun too. And I was the driver. He was riding on my. Well, never mind. That sounds crazy. I have to explain the story.
Well, listen. Now, listen. I want to reiterate. I think it's called reiterate. Adina, help me out with the acoustics. Reiterate. How do you say that?
Reiterate. We said it right the first time. Reiterate.
Now, as an electrician and an engineer, is the power in the plug or the wall outlet? Where do you get the current and where do you get the volts? Where do you get the wattage? It's not in the plug. All right. So when you said that, as an electrician, yeah, we know where the juice is. That's why we plug in.
Yeah, I was a whole grid, baby.
And so where I want to go now is Tehuti. I want you to ride and express some of that Adara just shared.
So yeah, like I said, I put in the chat John Baines The Science of Love. It was actually brought to us by Bobby Hemmett. Was one of the books that he had spoke upon, right? And it talks. He had a 3-book series. It was the Stellar Man, and it was the Science of Love, and it was basically the law of hermeticism, which is Hermes, which is Tehuti in itself. And so in that book, everything that we talking about right now is I probably broke down in that book better than any book I've personally ever read, that breaks down just how you know thyself, and then even when choosing a partner and picking a partner, what that journey looks like for you and why you even pick that partner. And as you move forward in your own journey and to be your greatest person, they have to move forward and be their greatest person too. And y'all just realize that y'all are mirrors of each other in that journey. But with that being said, that sometimes one or the other moves a little bit faster or higher, and they have to be able to play magic in a way where they're circular, where they're not being so direct with their information, and helping the person to see it for themselves. And y'all kind of do this with each other, and y'all intertwine, because they say energetically, I have my energy, she has her energy, and then we create a whole nother separate energy together, where we move upon with that energy, right? And one last thing, this is a little bit further back, but just to give honors to what both of what Dooley was saying and what Baba Hank was saying, man, we want to give honors to also Elijah Muhammad, man, because a lot of that parasitic talk and that energy talk was said in those books, How to Eat to Live 1 and 2. And when they talk about the energy of the chickens and all that stuff like that, Elijah Muhammad was the one who was one of the first people to put that in writing 50, 60 years ago, which is unheard of when you really go back and you read those books, that he was telling you when you eat these meats, it wasn't just about eating the meats, it was about the energy that came upon the meats once you ate them. And dealing with all these medicines, especially the medicines that me and Dooley deal with, me and Amani deal with, it's all about killing the parasites, because the parasites it's a whole nother game, and it's not about killing all parasites, but it is killing those baby parasites, because some parasites are symbiotic with us, have a different relationship with us, but there are many of them, and when you got overrun with too many of the babies, you're not listening to your own voice, you're hearing somebody else.
That
I
is
say,
powerful. Thank you for sharing that, because we had a brother on here named Professor Haru, and he was sharing that uh, originally in the late 1800s, early 1900s, family, the AMA said everything was parasitic as far as the dancer that begins with C, fibroids, diabetes, all of that is parasites. The root is parasites.
yeah,
So
facts.
sometimes it makes us wonder, are we talking to our significant other, or are we talking to the parasites in the gut? And one of the things that blew my mind, Adina, Tahuti, Adara, Amani, is what Dooley was getting ready to share. And I said, hold your horses, that I want you now, Dooley, to drop, because high frequency has dominion over low frequency. Dooley, tell them what you told me on the phone. Unmute your phone, brother. Y'all got to hear this, because I ain't never heard nothing like this before.
Well, when we talk about like high frequency, right? Now, now we have masters that could really come to a true place of transmutation. So not everything. I'm at that place. Everything is not always black and white. It's not always this formula for everything. So you have some people that know how to transmute food, poison, even chicken. You know what I mean? Believe it or not. You know what I mean? And this comes along with, so I know most people, yeah, it's a blueprint and people should stay by that, right? But then you have some people that come into this place with a whole different energy. And these people have mastered what we call the frequency here in this third dimension. You know what I mean? First time I seen that, I'll give you an example. Hank, when he started saying I was doing the Dragon Ball Z thing, he referenced to when me and Hank was sitting down with the iboga, and the iboga is a great, great, great medicine from Africa. A lot of people talk about that in regard to addiction and all kinds of things, but it's the time travel medicine. And also it connects with the ancestors. Long short story short, the elder that had us sitting down with the medicine, his leg ankle was swelled up. And I never forgot when I was there with Hank, it looked like high technology that came out of my forearm. It looked like a neon green joint that lifted off of my arm, came over his leg, scanned the leg, did some crisscrossing things down to the muscle fibers in the cells, and next thing you know, like in 2 minutes, his foot was normal. And Hank was like, "Yo, what the?" You know what I mean? And we sitting down chilling. Now Hank was saying, "Now I wonder what you could do with them hands with the ladies." I was like, "Oh, Hank,
Yeah, y'all gotta
you know
listen to
what I
this now.
was like, man, but so again, being able to sit down with someone who you can really express with, be open with, your partner who you could be vulnerable with and explore with. That's so important. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it started with my lady's foot at first.
Oh, here we go.
You mind if I
Y'all
tell?
buckle your
You
seatbelts.
mind if I tell?
Oh, you know
You
what?
mind if I tell?
I got to put
You
up
mind-
a. Hold on, I got to do real. This is real quick. I got to do a medical disclaimer. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
The information provided on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only and not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or some qualified health providers with any questions you have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you heard on this channel. If you're experiencing a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. This channel does not endorse or recommend any specific tests, physicians, products, procedures, opinion, or other information that might be mentioned. Reliance on any information provided by this channel is solely at your own risk. Continue, Dooley.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you. Listen, one day I'm just chilling with my lady, and something tells me just start nibbling on her feet, right? So she's laughing, it's ticklish to her. And the spirit of this beaver comes through me, right? So I'm nibbling on the feet, like I'm all getting into it, and I'm seeing because when we deal with Native American, a lot of totem animals and stuff, they deal with a lot of animal spirits, for their healing. So, mind you, squirrel energy and beaver energy comes to me, right? I feel the bones in her feet shift, right? Because she deals a lot of pain in her foot, you know what I mean? And I'm seeing this whole thing of even a bump on her foot go down, you know what I mean? And then I tell her after I'm done to look up the symbolism of those two animals and everything which was on point with what was she going through in her life with those two animals, right? So I'm starting to explore this more and I'm using the saliva. Feel me, family out there. My old Qigong teacher years ago told me the most potent medicine on the planet Earth is your saliva, family. You feel me? It's like when you start to infuse your saliva with the chi or the life force energy, and there's different ways you can do that. It becomes a magical elixir. It's better than any type of oil or any type of healing salve you could ever think of. So I'm seeing what the
Dooley,
saliva is.
you got to slow condense it, man, for the time factor
Okay,
because
okay, okay,
you giving a whole you
okay,
giving a
okay.
you got to squeeze it up
I
because
just
we
I
want to
just
hear
wanted to
from
share this
Adina.
information.
Yo,
Okay, yeah.
we want to hear
Okay.
from
Okay,
Adara. We want to hear
let's
from
go straight
Amani.
into it.
So get to what you
Okay,
told me
let's
on the
go
phone because
straight
you didn't give
into
me
it.
all this.
Okay, let's go straight into it. Fellas, have you ever gone down on your lady smoking psychedelics? Bufo, DMT, Shunga. Listen, when I'm telling you, even if a person is already making good love to their woman or their man or whatever, right? This will take your awareness to your partner to another level. Okay? Now, when I'm saying When I'm saying, when I went down, I had the booth went down there, and I'm saying that there was a stream of cosmic energy going through my tongue at her pearl. And the things that were happening, this was just the intro of healing. When I'm saying seeing her mother come up, all the women in her lineage come up, even her daughter come up, it was like a trigger effect of all the healing in her bloodline. I'm seeing her grandmother, you know what I mean? And the way that they told my higher self was guided to be able to do the inner reflexology of her yoni, or when I was at her cervix, it was crazy. I can't even go into details of how deep that was first.
Yo, just say
Then,
what the effect was, man, so we can get back to Adara. This is her show. Yo,
then
condense it.
hold on
Condense it.
1 second, God. Then when we're talking about having the deities come through you, making love, man, one night, bro, I'm family. Listen, she had the cosmic goddesses going through me first, and they was doing downloads and different things for her. And then when the gods came through, man, I'm gonna tell y'all, sit down with the ethogenic medicines and microdose. I'm saying, because most people, they take a big old hit and they be hit the floor and don't even know where their partner is. I'm not saying that. I'm saying microdose a little, get into your level
Okay.
of sensitivity, and go and heal that person you're with. I'm telling you.
Ashe.
I am
Ashe.
telling you,
Thank
y'all.
you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Billy. Adara,
Yes,
you got
yes, yes.
Adara, we're putting it in your hands now, Adara. Well, how you gonna in addition to that, what do you got to share? Oh, your mic. Unmute. Unmute.
Thank you. Yeah, well, actually, that's how things happen. So the work that I do, tantric body work, I call it bliss medicine. It creates DMT in your brain, and through energetic projection, you are doing exactly that. Like, you can send energy to any part of the person's body if you are in a state where, like, I channel, and every woman can do this, every man can do this. We can open ourselves to bring in whatever divine energy we want to. And when we're talking about the goddess, you're talking about a whole facet of every expression, right? So when I do the work that I do, I was told that I represent 100,000 women to every person I do this on. So if I want to elevate myself to the idea of I'm 100,000 of their ancestors coming to heal them, or I'm 100,000 of emanations of Shakti or of Yemiya, or all the faces of Oshun, or whatever it is you want to do. You are now, like I said, you have the door open to harness all of these things. And on a minor level, and we talk about chakras and stuff, these are nerve ganglions, family. Your chakras are where your bundles of nerves are. They say where 21 energetic meridians cross, that is where a major chakra is. When there's 14, that's a minor chakra, right? And there's all over. But if you take it outside of just the energy body and your nervous system, you can send wattage to every different part of somebody. So Dooley was talking about yoni reflexology. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. People like, I can't find the G spot. If you practice yoni reflexology, you will, because the G spot is about 1 inch outside the vagina in the top wall. So if you're looking inside the vagina, you're not going to find it, baby. You got to press up, and you have to understand the mapping of the body from the nerve endings, the everything. And when you take your time slowly moving over somebody, you have a chance to pick up more information when you're, like you said, using the saliva, or because when you're tapping into something like saliva, you are almost more aware of the liquid than you are of the person's body. You see what I'm saying? It's like and this is the same thing like semen retention and all this other stuff, the feminine juices, all of that. At a point, it becomes light. At the point, it's more than electric. It's more than electric.
Yep.
The reason we're doing semen retention is for the light that's involved. You see what I'm saying? So it's not even all about and people have to understand we are light beings first. We are all light first. And at any moment, you can choose to radiate or dim yourself, block yourself, right? So it can be something as simple as not feeling comfortable enough with your partner to shine your light as bright as you want to. Women, sometimes we are afraid to show how much libido we actually have, because then we might scare our partner. Now he can't trust us, and now he feels inadequate, and all this other stuff. And you're like, let me downplay myself, let me dim my light. Same thing with brothers. Sometimes you want to do more than your woman is ready for, not even just sexually, but in life. And you kind of have to like drag her along and spoon feed her ideas to expand her consciousness. And that scares her because it feels like you might outgrow her. But in these processes, we are able to put it in a frame of compassion that says, hey, baby, I can show you these things, but at the same time, you're learning, help me grow and shine. As even if I'm shining brighter than you, help me shine further because it's going to help you shine even better, right? And we just have this whole different orientation of love. And that's one thing that I'm big on. I want to change our orientation around relationships. Like Julie was saying before, and I really do want to get Tehuti and Amani's perspective on this. My partner is not somebody who has to be there, right? I'm not a ball and chain. If you are here, it's because you choose to be here, and at any moment you can leave. But the reason why I'm in your life, I hope, and what I want for you to be in my life is somebody who can help me have the life experience I want to have and achieve all the things I want to do. So that'd be my purpose. That'd be, for me personally, exploring the highest possibility of everything I can, be it from health, relationships, spirituality, finances, everything. I'm trying to see how much I can turn up. That's what I want to find out. And I want my person to support me in all of those facets. And I want to support them in that, because at the end of the day, you only get one chance to be who you are in this life. And just because I'm here don't mean you get to enjoy it. You don't get to enjoy the things that you're here to enjoy. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to, and even in your individual life, for our singles and people who are looking for love or not even interested because you're not interested in that, which is perfectly fine. Love yourself enough to do the things that's required for you to have the experience you came down here for. Like,
Wow,
seriously.
that's beautiful.
Right.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful. Hold on, Dooley. Hold on.
Go
Adina,
ahead. Go ahead.
we want you to add to.
Well, is there a particular question, or you just want me to share? Like Adara spoke to a lot about having the courage to be your full self, and that is a walk. That is a life mission, because
It
we're really
is.
coming through generations of our mothers not knowing, our mothers having to make themselves small. But I feel like we're at a critical place today where we actually have the ability to give ourselves permission to do these things, to open to more pleasure, to open to more power, to open to what those things are really designed for.
Mhm.
Whereas
Mhm.
before, women saw themselves as like an accessory to a man. Men saw the women as like a possession, even. Like, I get my house, I get my car, I get my woman, that kind of thing. But it's like, no, we're full people. We're full bodied individuals with our own missions and goals and those kinds of things. And it doesn't negate our need for a brother. Like, sometimes women will say things like, I don't need a man. And, I never say that. I need a man. I don't say that. I understand that my brother is me. I am my brother, and together we are stronger. So I am excited that we're in a place now where we understand the power of sensuality and sexuality, and the power of our union, and the power of our fluids
Mhm.
as light, like Adara just said. Because some people still think of those things as waste or things like that, but what we know them as is that's the gift. We all come out of that. And when we can share that with each
Mhm.
other at a high charged level, like what Brother Dooley was talking about with his sister Cora, yes, more of that,
Mhm.
more of that. I'm here
Mhm.
for that. So I'm excited to really have women give themselves permission for pleasure, and give themselves permission for knowing who they are, walking ourselves home to that. This is another thing one of my teachers said: all paths lead home. Somebody may be doing it in a way that you don't agree with, and it's not for you to agree with because it's not your path.
Right.
Knowing that
Right.
they're walking and they'll get there eventually. Maybe they on the 3, 4, 5 life plan, whatever. Just walk your plan out. you be your light for you, so that when folks are waking up at whatever level, you are shining the light. So that's all we have to do. Like when things get too deep for me, I remind myself when I'm doing my morning meditation, the only person I gotta wake up is me. Like that's all I gotta do is make sure that my vibration is the highest it can be today. You know, working on my breath and those kinds of things. So I try not to make it too deep when it feels like a lot. All I have to do is me, and in doing me, you know, that light just
Mhm.
picks up folks as I'm rolling
Mhm.
and as I'm growing, and it's
Absolutely.
beautiful, Baba Hank. It really is. It's beautiful.
It's beautifully
Absolutely.
said, Cancerian
Absolutely.
Adina.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Amani, Tehuti, talk about your elixir of love.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all elixir, you can tell y'all got a concoction going on. Y'all mean everybody's look at them. Look at them.
Go ahead. Okay, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, our elixir of love. For me, we've doing a lot of ceremonies together and doing a lot of like shadow work type things, like ceremonies that bring up a lot of shadows. For me, this elixir of love is guided by and filled by, I would say, the real idea of namaste, right? So when we're talking about Yogananda, we're talking about Kriya Yoga. The idea of seeing the parasites talk, hearing the parasites talk, listening to it, and still being able to see past that and really listening to the God, the divine authority in your partner speak. And when I say your partner,
Mhm.
this could be like your sexual partner, your husband, your wife, or like your brother, your sister, your friend, your coworker, because it's really about what we give power to. And so if in your own self you give power to, and like my sisters have said before, like if you give power to all the lower voices, the negative voices, the down talk, the things that aren't so compassionate to yourself, if you give that power, that's what you're going to also see in other people. So the more we can
Mhm.
practice like listening and giving the strength to the highest thought that you have, or the highest um I guess like idea or knowing that you have, and then being able to actually just see that in whoever is in your realm, like even the people who are, we'll take it back to Baba's or Uncle Hank's original talk. Like if you see a woman who was being mad in her masculine, and you can see that, but you also see the part in her that's like beautiful and feminine and joyous, and that little spark of like little girl light that's now a beautiful blossoming woman. Like if you pay the attention to that, that seed will grow times 10. And yeah, we can address the bullshit and address the wrongness, or like the struggles, the negativity,
Mhm.
but not so much amplify it and bring focus to.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's like the demons. So if you feed it, it's going to grow anyway. So sometimes you
Yeah.
don't address it, and that goes back to what Dooley was saying, because I have a problem with that. And Dooley was like how he can just be quiet and sometimes be like I'm war, so I'm gonna go in there and cut, and I don't necessarily need to. Sometimes you just need to shut up, let it don't even feed into that energy. But I'm dealing with the personal, so I like a lot of times like we got kind of like an agreement. Like even when we got something serious to talk about, let's take a walk, move the energy. Let's not just sit around and just have these hard conversations sitting in a room where you bottled up and things like that. Let's take a walk, and it always comes out better, moves out a little more frequency. And just a quote, dude. I don't know how I ain't never did the buffon, but I don't know why I ain't never thought about that one. But I
You
will
got that right.
be
I ain't
It's
never thought of
amazing.
that before.
It's amazing. Yeah,
I will be
definitely
investigating
amazing.
that one real quick.
Yo, Dooley done started a
Yo,
mega trend,
speak
man.
about
He's
it.
gonna have folks out here
Okay,
enlightened because
okay.
they're just taking that high frequency chakra energy and turbo loading it up on the first chakra. So you can imagine by the time it hits the head, what happened when it hit her head, Dooley?
Well, the thing is, the first time I did it, I wanted to do it myself and not have my lady do it. So I know it wasn't just like something from my imagination. And
Mhm.
the thing is that when she started
Wow.
saying like, "Whoa,
I
what's
was like,
going
I
on?"
was like, do you feel that? Did you feel that? It felt like the earth moved. Like I literally I felt every vibration in my body, and I
That's a
wasn't even, I didn't
bad
even have
brother.
to. Yeah.
Listen,
Wow.
you know what's so interesting though is because again, even how we're conditioned to approach, having sex or what have you, right? So a lot of times we're not talking about the porn industry, or not talking about how a lot of people are just like desensitized. So
Mhm.
they're rushing through the whole experience, all these things. So what I've noticed is that the sacred teaching plant medicines and stuff, they allow you to turn on your inner intelligence. So you're
Mhm.
able to be more sensitive
Mhm.
to not only yourself but your partner as well, so you can learn more about her body. And what was so interesting to me is that when I seen these certain deities come through, for instance, one time it was, I seen Cora on the other side, one of her emanations, which is my art, which makes so much sense, and but when it was coming through was Oya. It was one of the I forget her name. She's the lioness face deity of Tibet. She came through and she was, you know what I mean? And
Wait a
the
minute.
thing that
Hold on. Dooley. Don't lose the
yeah,
audience. You was
okay.
giving her sacred kisses, and then you start seeing all these deities coming through
Yes, they're
like a
coming
portal.
through me like a portal coming through.
Is she
And
walking now or is she levitating?
Levitating, levitating,
and
levitating.
the beautiful thing about it is I'm seeing so many things that have shifted with Corey. You know what I mean? On so many different levels, love. I mean, it's interesting and seeing how the family, certain things along the family that has been
Ages.
healing. You
Everything
know what I
around
mean?
Okay.
me,
Now
Yeah.
that.
everything
All
around me, everything. Yeah.
right.
See?
So hold on a second. Dooley blew the top off of her DNA. Adara, what
Yes.
happens to the family after a woman goes to the stairway of heaven? And have you ever lit a pipe and blew a man's brain out?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It. There's a number of ways to do that, and I just want people to know that it is possible. Like what that Dooley is saying sounds like, how is this even a thing? No, it's very much a thing. It is
So
very much a thing,
it's
and it is
real.
something. It is something that is all. I'm not. His experience is a commonplace, but experiencing the emanations of God through people is part of the tantric system. Like there's four pillars: daily practice, deity veneration, ritual, and the guru relationship. In the deity veneration and ritual, deity be in there. Same thing with the indigenous style that we practice here, like in the tantric shamanism, is here. So not speaking for my sister Cora, but from a woman that has experienced
Go
the
on now.
undulation of
Testify.
God. There is a place where your consciousness expands to a state and you can choose whether you're going to let it fully go and see where this thing takes you, and then you feel these different things coming through, or there's a place where you can contract. There's times where it feels like there's so much space within your cells, you feel like you're coming apart at the seams. And as you breathe into that, and this is what orgasm feels like, honestly. A real cervical orgasm feels like you're coming apart at the seams. Why? Because for those who don't know, the cervix
Ooh,
is
this
the
is a
furthest
hot
part.
show tonight, boy.
Yeah, it's the
Woo!
furthest part of the vagina. And right above that is the anterior fornix erogenous zone. And in that place is one of the highest places for women to experience that. But that's also the doorway into the divine creatrix, if you will. I call it the big coochie in the sky. You see? So when Dooley's like, all these goddesses came through me, she's a clear open door at this point. Like she really is Newt. She really is the Nomo. She really is that portal which all things come out of. And each and every one of us is that. And all the women that have ever been her and been in her line are still that. And all the women that are coming are still that, family. Still that. And when like this is the where the magic comes from. People are like, oh, I'm doing sex magic. Nah, when you're able to open up, now Dooley can put in there whatever he wants to bring into physicality. And she can breathe, and as she felt herself come out, she can bring it back in, that same tune, that same channel of light coming through, same through the heart, same through the womb. And now this manifestation is real. It's come through all the elements. It started as space and ether and came into fire and it turned into water and then came into earth. And now it's this thing that he can feel and she can feel. And all of us are sharing in a real manifestation that they pulled out the sky. You see what I'm saying? Your consciousness is expanded from even here an experience that they used because she was open and he was open, right? His consciousness gave an understanding of what to do. His feminine side was open enough to let it try. The little boy in him was open enough to be playful enough. You see what I'm saying? And the little girl in her was willing to try. You know, sure, let's play a game, fine. So when we started the conversation before, when I was like, women need a space to be girls. When you're stuck in this masculine thing that Hank talked about, you're not going to get there, right? You're not going to get there. And there's 1,000 tools that we can use to get us there. Like Amani has a man that supports her. I have a very masculine man that supports me. I'm not sure what Adina's situation is, but she has support of masculine all around her. And
you can see her smile. You can see something's going on.
Love the masculine. Like there has to be an innate love for the masculine. You know, be it yourself. Like it has to be an innate love for the genuineness of the masculine and what it represents in our life. So somebody asked, like, what are some things that we can do to help ourselves after we experience some trauma and things to help ourselves be open and get to these places?
I like saying, Adara, you know what I like to say? This is real quick. We are greater than our memories.
Yes. Oh, I want to put a pin on that real quick. We always talk about collective trauma and collective hurt and stuff. There's also collective resilience. Everybody who's ever been knocked down and got up, every person who's ever healed of cancer, of trauma, of this or that, that same wisdom is there for us to access, just like all the trauma is, just like all the hurt is. All of the wisdom, family, we got to look on both sides. Everybody who ever got up and over. Throughout history, we can tap into that. And this conversation is just so powerful for me. And I feel like it's a changing of the tides, because to hear these healthy relationships, real conversations, real advice, real experiences, what our community really, really, really needs. And the more that we do this, we shift the paradigm to a new normal, a new state, and the whole culture changes. Imagine if the average thought process of relationships was these little baselines that we're talking about, trying to build each other up, having compassion for each other, letting people actually show up who they really are versus what you bring to the table, where you've been and how many people have been inside of you, all of these different things. Everything shifts. The children shift. The way we produce food shifts. The way we do business, everything shifts, fam. And I want y'all to understand that pleasure is a key to revolution. Joyous and happy families are the foundation of all culture. You see, and that culture starts with the individual, your love within yourself, your ability to work within yourself. And when people see me, they don't know what to take. They don't know what to think. They don't know what I'm up to. They don't know what I'm preaching. But for real, family, this shit is the linchpin. Like Terrence Howard, like, I got this linchpin thing. This pleasure is the linchpin, fam. Like, for real, for real. Y'all got it.
And that's why this show is so unique. And I thank everyone on here tonight, because we don't see enough of this kind of constructive building and psychedelic intuitive creativity being expressed on so-called social media. Everything is like war. Good God, yo. You know, it's the genders are at war versus the assisting each other in awakening their inner divinity. And that's what's so beautiful about, this platform tonight. So I thank the energy, the collective energy of everyone here, because it's transcendental. The experience, the audience is getting the buzz. You know, um,
Mhm.
I know one thing. If I ever see a woman light up a pipe before she mess with my anything, I'll be like, whoa, 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 what's that you got in your pipe?
I'm more a cannabis lady.
Oh man, this is some next level inspiration. I thought I talked about a magnet. This ain't got a magnet. Can't hold a candle to what you talking about tonight with Dooley and Adina and Amani. Y'all talking about toe tantra now.
That's what that's what's up. I was gonna let I think you want to ask Amani and Tehuti something. I think it's a second ago. So I was gonna give them the floor if they wanted to share anything. Anybody want to share anything?
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
think it's
Dar. Take
Sister
it from
Cora
here.
wanted
Take
to
it from
say
here.
something.
You said
I think it's
Cora.
Sister Cora wanted to say something real quick.
Oh, I have forgot my thought. It had to do with what somebody was saying, but it's just the thought left me. It went somewhere else. Sorry,
Okay,
y'all.
okay. Well, yeah, nah. I mean, I just want as a whole, this was really beautiful to be a part of and just watch because it's like it's a lot in there and it's like oh so like even as she talks about pleasure so much I know the medicines that me and Manny and Dooley deal with ain't always pleasurable. They not always likable. They not always. It ain't fun. It ain't. It don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's so like once you gotta go through that work, that pain. You know they say that a lot of these different medicines or just even working out a certain type of ways to give yourself pain so that the universe don't gotta do it for you, right? So you get
Mm-hmm.
control pain, right? So now we dealing with so much control pain that we need to have control pleasure too, and then a little let go pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
right, so like it's good to see the balance and that come together, and because it did. Oh, I forgot. I know what it was. So then her said that you need like I always say that all the time because a lot of Africa always say that. It's like people will say, well, such and such gave me a cold. You know what I'm saying? So he said, if you catch a sick, then why you don't catch a healing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody always talking about, man, man, such and such gave me this or such and such gave me that. Well, okay, well, give me some good. I mean, I
Yeah.
walked around, I came and sat next to Dooley, and now I feel better. You know what I'm saying? I caught a feel good. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like because we can't. That's law to Hootie, right? So like we can't have the polarity say that you can't have one without the other. So if I can catch a sickness, if I can catch a cold, then I'm supposed to be able to catch a hot. I'm supposed to be able to catch a feel
Right.
good. So we
Yeah,
just
and
Right.
that's
gotta
what I wanted to talk about. I sorry to cut you off. My bad. Is you still going?
go ahead, go ahead,
I
go ahead.
remember what I was gonna say. Okay, because you were talking about this earlier. I wanted to share that because Julie gave me so much support. I was getting so much support from outside of myself that the hyper independence that I had worked on it prior to him coming into my life. So when he was giving me more support, I was able to ask for help. I was able to say, you know what, I need help. It wasn't so hard to say, I need help. And I remember the first time I asked for help and really needed it, I cried because
Mm-hmm.
it came out so easy. I was like, wow, this is wild to even feel this space open in my heart. I just felt like it just was an expansion of love. And I felt like everything it is I want and need, I can just receive it. There's no struggle that's attached to it. I don't have to beg. I don't have to hide that I need help. Just help is there. It's just as long as I ask for it, it's just there. So
I
that's what I
say,
wanted.
That's
I
That's what I
beautiful.
was
say, I love
That's
that.
beautiful.
Love
Yes,
that.
sir.
that
Can
ties
I say
into
something?
like for me what the masculinity was looking like. And for me the masculinity was looking like hyper independence, not knowing how to ask for help, hiding that I need help. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say,
I,
sis. That's what's up.
I wanted to add to what Cora said in terms of asking for help and being able to receive it. And I'm so happy that you have that, sister. That is really beautiful to actually be vulnerable and then to have your needs met is a beautiful thing. I remember hearing a session with Master Yao, which is one of Adara's teachers, and he was talking about cocooning the feminine. And it was such a beautiful picture that he painted of the masculine really helping to heal what has happened to the collective feminine for the women and for the men, and the masculine really taking ownership of the exterior and letting the woman have the opportunity to really go inside and find her gifts and her strength, find her little girl, and heal all those places that she hasn't been able to for the last few hundred years and things like that. Adara, can you talk more about cocooning? Have you, you know, okay,
Yes,
talk about that.
absolutely, absolutely. So cocooning is a process that takes about 3 months, a month to 3 months to do. And what it is for that time, a woman is with the man and he is totally taking care of everything that she worries about. So, and oftentimes, like in the group, it was not married couples, right? So he would take care of all of her bills, all of her different concerns, and he would have her on a certain carefree pleasure regimen. And there might be a mix of dark room activity, right? So people familiar with dark room retreats where you block everything out and people for 3 days stay in the dark room. And after that, their melanin, their pineal kicks on and all that stuff. So there might be some of that going in. There may be some ritual bath happening. There might be some well structured, I ain't gonna say well structured, but well structured and intentional sexual interaction. And the goal of that is to get her out of her left brain as much as possible so she can fully tap back into this original self that she is. And more than that, for her to go back to her original DNA blueprint. And in doing that, now bring back lost information. So the energy work that we're doing is designed to help people go back to their original DNA blueprint because we all have information locked in our inside of our DNA, right? So I am 99% sure that Dooley is probably from a certain kind of clan, and I'm from a certain kind of clan, and we are from in Tehuti, and we're all from different departments. And if you look at our lineage, even our star lineage, you'll see that we all been doing this for God knows, only God knows how long. You know what I mean? And we, as who we are today, can tap back into that information. So in the cocooning process, she is bringing on the different archetypes of femininity. It can be divided into 4. There's more depending on what school you look at, but there's an archetype of abundance. There's an archetype of pleasure, beauty, there and harmony. There's an archetype of intuition and governance. There's an archetype of nurturing, mothering, and supply, right? So in this is what femininity is. It's not what a female woman does. A female bird takes care of the same thing. A female deer deals with the same thing, right? So it's actual the blueprint of femininity. And by us coming into ours, we set the barometer of where the men can be, right? So everybody's individual, of course, but in our experience and us in this particular container, where the women can expand, that we share our experience with them, and then they can expand to where we are. Basic example. Have you ever seen a man get aroused and then everybody else around them get aroused? No. Have you seen a woman get aroused and the people around her get aroused? I guarantee it. You see, when a woman gets
Oh
aroused
yeah.
now,
Oh
you
yeah.
see
I've
it.
seen that before. Yeah.
Because we're magnetic. You see, we're magnetic, so we just operate in a different type of way. So when we create a magnetic field, now they can expand out and make sense of this thing, and then they can have the same experience we have because now their body knows how to process it, and there is a blueprint for it to understand. So it doesn't break their masculine system because they're not designed the same way we are, and we're not designed the same way they are. And if we think in a masculine way, it breaks our system. Understand, family, it breaks your system for us to conceptualize the way a man's mind conceptualizes. We're really different. Honestly, we really are different. And the cocoon process allows us to just embrace that. And it's really good. I experienced by accident. It wasn't from a man. I actually ended up homeless and I was pregnant and I was very sick and I had to go back to my mom's house and I was in my brother's childhood room and I really couldn't do anything for myself. So I was forced to take the love that people were giving me. I was forced to sit down and be with I was forced into cocooning. And when I came out, family, I've never been like whatever break. I really had a blockage in my life. Like I could see it sometimes in meditation. I pushed through it and it would bend with it. I couldn't pop through it. But after that, I'm telling you, my whole life changed. Whole life changed. I easily make 6 figures a year. And my work is meditation and laying in my grass and telling y'all about how to feel good. Like my relationship is on autopilot. I'm healthy. My children are like great. Like my life is really so sincerely good. Not internet flexing, sincerely good, and I'm grateful every second of it. And I know I would not been in the place to receive all of this or have done the energetic building of my reality if I didn't have the opportunity to be cocooned. So it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing.
That was a beautiful.
I
Thank
say.
you, Adina, for even bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because if
And you
it's a
got
man,
Manny over
his
here talking about
testosterone is going
cocooning
to go
her.
through the roof. Go ahead. What'd you say?
And
You
men
got
Tahut?
get it
Manny
too.
over
Men
here
get
talking about,
cocooned
I need
too.
you to cocoon me. I need you to cocoon me. I need you to
Yeah,
cocoon me.
yeah, yeah. But the men get cocooned too, though. That's the thing. Woman, what you do to men, you gotta flip it and do like once he does you, you gotta do him too. Like that's only right. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry.
Right. I say, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wow. So, Adara, we need the information to run it across the screen as far as getting in touch with you. Let me see. Create a
Yes,
banner for your
yes. I'm gonna give you
upcoming
the website.
classes, your website. I got it
Yep.
memorized. Adara
And then IG at
Moselle.
Adara Moselle. So if you just joined this family, I'm doing a 4 day, well, really 3 day intensive, but 4 day intensive in DC. And we're going to be doing two rituals that I'm going to be channeling my spirit guides to do. So the first one is a shadow self ritual where we're going to be shattering these limiting beliefs that are holding us back from expressing however it is that you want to express. And then, so Friday day, energy work masterclass. Friday night, shadow work ritual. Saturday during the day, we're having a workshop to help you feel confident and be confident, shining your light seriously and being seen. And then that night, we're having our divine pleasure experience. And if you are one of the lucky people who come for the whole weekend, Sunday, we're doing the bliss ceremony. And that is only something I do for my private temple people. And it's for us, it's for the ancestors, but it's that opportunity where spirit comes and I'm not gonna say gifts us, but you just gotta be there. I can't really explain it. You just gotta be there. Just understand that just you just gotta be there. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. It's beautiful. So you guys can check that out at the link below, adaramoselle.com/events. Check me out on Instagram. You get all that information. I hope I see y'all there because Adina's in DC, Amani and Tehuti are in DC. Hank is just a hop, skip away. It's at Temple Mother Earth, fam. Pull up, pull
Come
up, pull
on through,
up.
Bobbers. Come on,
Yeah.
mothers.
Yeah.
I'm filling in the banner. So here's the info. And I'm going to put that also. Let me see. Did I show? Here we go. And I'm also going to save, copy, and put it in the show description so that we can have access. You know, I got to learn how to do. Um, I'm looking here. We're broadcasting on Facebook and another channel. That is so cool. So it's like three channels. I got to learn how to do that. Any closing words? Adara, Adina, Tahuti, um, Dooley. I mean, where did Dooley go? Wait a second. That's Tehran and yo. You splitting atoms up in here, Amani. Y'all got y'all got two screens. Oh, you know, I just realized that. I was so busy with the banner. Any questions, family? If you have any questions or comments to share before we close out, we're coming up on 2 hours. That was the quickest 2 hours. Wow.
I want to say that I'm grateful for divine masculine and divine feminine harmony. I'm grateful for the opportunity to sit in sacred circle with my brothers and sisters all around the globe and to be a part of the awakening. It really does feel so good to utilize the plant medicines, the flower medicines, the dance medicine, the energy medicine. It's all medicine. Even the triggers, all of it is a part of the journey when you see it as really your raw materials for who it is you're trying to become. So I am becoming each and every day a better version of myself, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to sit with these amazing folks tonight. So thank you, Baba Hank. Thank you, Adara and Tehuti and Brother Dooley and Cora and Amani. I love you all. Mwah.
I
Oh,
love you
that's
too.
sweet. Cancerian sweetness. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Right back at you. And thank you for everybody who checked in with us this evening. I appreciate the energy from the chat. It was good. I enjoyed this one. It was a good conversation. Hopefully
She
we
said,
have
I
another one.
enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I do. I do. Because
No,
like work was done, in the best way. In the best way. We did some good work.
we never had a show like this. This was a epic. This was an
Mm-hmm.
epic show.
Mm-hmm. It was
Adara, we ain't
good.
never had nobody talk about some stuff that started something now, boy. Be careful of the pipe, y'all. Be careful of the smokes.
Trying to
Careful
get
with
that
the food,
bufo tonight.
girl.
Who got bufo?
That's what's up. But yeah, y'all experiment with yourselves, have fun, be safe, and have pleasure. All right, we'll let you
Yeah.
have a good night.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good
Bless.
night.
Yeah, peace.
Blessings.